are very happy, we are very lucky to have Mrs. Usha Bharadwaj amongst us today. I have a great pride to introduce her. She is, as far as her qualifications are concerned, she is MA MH. Madam is gold medalist in MA History from Lucknow University. Madam is a national hockey player. She has served KVS for 25 years. She was selected even for Kendriya Vidyalaya Kathmandu. She has retired from Kendriya Vidyalaya Ordnance Factory, Dehu Road, Pune, Mumbai region. मैडम को अपने बीच में पा करके मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है और मैडम से मेरी मुलाकात बातचीत बिल्कुल अचानक अनायास हुई एक दिन और and such a wonderful person she is. उनके कितने सारे अचीवमेंट्स होने के बाद भी एक बात जरूर कहूंगी कि ज्यो ज्यो सिर ऊंचो भयो त्यों त्यों नीचे नैन. मैडम को जितना ज्ञान है, मैडम जितने ऊंचाइयों पर है, उसका तो कोई सानी नहीं है, उसको मैं कुछ कह नहीं सकती. मैडम के बारे में कुछ कहना यानी कि दीपक सूरज को दिया दिखाने वाली बात हो जाएगी. इतना सारा ज्ञान उनके अंदर भरा हुआ है कि जब मैडम रायपुर रीजन में थी तब मेरी जब उनसे मुलाकात हुई तो आई थॉट यस शी इज द करेक्ट पर्सन टू बी सिलेक्टेड फॉर केंद्रीय विद्यालय काठमांडू. तो मैडम आपके और बच्चों के बीच बहुत ज्यादा देर नहीं रहते हुए मैं बच्चों को बताना चाहूंगी कि मैडम आपका 4th चैप्टर जो है उसमें से बुद्धिज्म, द टीचिंग्स ऑफ बुद्धिज्म एंड आर्किटेक्चर ऑफ स्तूपा के ऊपर मैडम जो है आपसे बातचीत करना चाहेंगी और मेरा पूरा भरोसा है कि आज के दिन आप मैडम से बहुत कुछ सीखने वाले हैं. And if this meeting ends, we will rejoin again. Thank you, ma'am. Madam, please. It's over to Usha, ma'am.
Good evening, children.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening,
ma'am.
Nice to see such
Good evening, ma'am.
chirping voices. Such chirping voices. Wonderful. It is really wonderful. And first of all, I am really thankful and I appreciate the efforts taken by Neelam madam for this Herculean task of juggling so many people under one roof. Means people from Mumbai, from Pune, from Ranchi, from Lucknow, from Houston, and now from London. So really, it is a really credit for Neelam madam that she has been able to juggle all of us, people of history, together just for you people. It's really wonderful. KVS बच्चे चाहे पुणे के हो, चाहे मुंबई के हो, चाहे काठमांडू के हैं, they're all wonderful and beautiful children. It's really awesome that I'm talking to you today, and we have managed, Neelam madam has managed this rendezvous with you people of KV Kolaba. So first of all, let's all give a scout guide clap for Neelam madam. Okay? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You also clap. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, thank you so much for this. कितने दिनों के बाद मैंने scout guide clap सुना, because I was also in Scouts and Guides also, and Neelam madam was also there. She's an old buddy and a dear friend of mine. We keep on meeting, but for a few time we have been, sort of separated, and we were busy in our lives, but somehow the love was never lost between both of us. Yeah. So children, first of all, I would like to just gear you up and ask you a brain teaser. Ye bataiye, how is 7 greater to 9? Socho, how is 7 number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 greater than 9 or more powerful than 9. How? Jaldi.
Because it's an odd number.
7, yes, it's an odd number. So greater kaise hai 9 se?
Because it
How
comes
is 7?
before it.
Pardon?
Because it comes before 9.
So greater kaise hua? It comes before 9. ग्रेटर कैसे हुआ है? हाउ इज 7 ग्रेटर और मोर पावरफुल देन 9? 7 तो छोटा है, 9 बड़ा है.
Hi.
Okay, should I tell you, Khushi?
Sure, ma'am.
Anybody else? Any of your classmates? Anybody else?
Ma'am, because it has more alphabets than 9.
Ah.
Well tried, but I'm sorry. Well tried, Nihar. Okay. Koi baat nahi. Keep on trying. Shall I tell you now?
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so listen very careful. 7, 8, 9. That is why 7 is more powerful. Have you got it? 7, 8, 9.
7 comes first.
Oh, 7, 8, 9.
Yes,
Actually,
7,
7,
8,
8,
9. Yes, 7, 8, 8.
Okay.
Okay, got it?
Yeah, got it.
Yes, I'm happy. So now you are all geared up. I just wanted to
Yeah.
see whether you all are attentive or not. Done. Okay, so I'm happy that 28 children, madam has told me that you are 28 in humanities group. Wonderful, 28. And I'm so happy that you have chosen history as one of your subjects, because history is not something dead and gone. Kaun padhega bolte na, gade murde ukharna. It's not like that. Whatever is happening today is also history. You are a witness to 2020. You have seen the pandemic through social media. You know all the details about the pandemic, from where it started, how it can be, how you can stop it, or how you can keep yourself immunity kaise badhayenge. So you are a party to 2020 pandemic this year, and this pandemic will come to in the course of history later on. Just wait and watch. Your younger cousins, your you can say neighbors, so many of you who are junior to you, they will be learning about this pandemic later on. So history is something alive, something relevant. What is happening today becomes history tomorrow. Is that clear? Supposing here, see, okay, I'll show you a medicine bottle, okay? This, everything animate or inanimate, living or non-living, has a history to it. You have a history, I have a history. This medicine bottle has a history. What is the name of the medicine? What are the ingredients in it? When was it manufactured? Where was it manufactured? And when will this medicine expire? Is that clear? So this medicine has got history. Is that clear? So everything living or non-living has got a history. You have a history, you have your background, I have my history. Everything has history. You cannot run away from history. Is that clear? अभी KBC start होने वाला है. 1 crore का question history का ही होगा. After 12th, if you take up any, you go for any viva, any entrance exam, any profession, any job later on, there is a paper or viva on current affairs. What is current affairs? History. So you are already prepared. You are already confident and sound, because your knowledge about history is very much secure. So I'm happy, and you should feel proud of taking history as a subject. It's very scoring, children, I'm telling you. I have given 98, 99 in CBSE correction copies. It is very scoring. So ये मत सोचो पहले था maths है, Sanskrit है, such subjects, there you can score marks. History में कितना भी लिखो marks नहीं आते. It's not that. It's very scoring. The only thing is that you should have a love for that subject. That is very important. Is that clear? If you love your subject, you will definitely put your heart and soul into that, and you'll secure good marks. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. So you're hearing me now? Okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
So now let's, as you know, as madam has told, this is theme 4. I'll be taking thinkers, beliefs, and buildings. That is the topic. You have already done it. I'll just try to brush you up, and maybe you feel something and you can, keep that material or matter or whatever you like for your answers. Because books everybody has got, but why do the marks differ? The marks differ is what you present in the answers, because that you have to convince the examiner. Then only you will be able to get good marks. It's not only the matter, it's your presentation also which matters. So I'll tell you a short story about Lord Buddha, because we'll be doing Buddhism and Jainism. You know, Lord Buddha, he was a preacher, bhikshu. वो भिक्षा मांग के अपना जीवन यापन करते थे. So he went to a house and he asked for alms. He asked for bhiksha. The person came out and said, "Don't disturb me. I have nothing to give you." And he gave a very, very rude look and he answered very rudely. Buddha was smiling. So he got very annoyed. "See, I'm telling you, I'm shooing you away, but still you are smiling. Why is it so? Why aren't you angry? I've told you I will not give you anything. Why are you angry?" Then Buddha said, "Vats, I'm a bhikshuk. मैं तो आप लोग जो देते हैं वो मैं ग्रहण करता हूं. बट आपने जो मुझे भिक्षा दी, किसकी भिक्षा दी? रूडनेस की, isn't it? तो आपने जो भिक्षा दी, वो भिक्षा मैंने ग्रहण नहीं की. So what happens? Whatever I have not taken goes back to you. I have not accepted it, it goes back to you." So this is, you can say, the crux of Buddhism. You have to have control over your emotions, your anger, then only you can be a person of a truthful person, a person like Buddha. तो ये चीजें हमें imbibe करनी है. ये अपने senses को, अपने emotions के ऊपर we have to keep a check. So this is what Buddha says, or this is what Buddhism says. So now we go back to 6th century BC. BC, yeah, now as you say in the new books, we have the BCE. What does BCE stand for?
Before common.
Era, sorry.
Yes, very good. Very good. So we go to 6th century BC and we see to the conditions, what happened, what gave rise to these two awakenings or these two religions, that is Buddhism and Jainism. So the causes, if we go through the causes, we'll say there was a religious unrest. The people were unhappy. The people were confused because the rituals were very complex. The sacrifices were very expensive. Loss of animals because they were being sacrificed. The superstitions, the beliefs, they were unacceptable by the people. The people did not connect with the language of the Upanishads, because the Upanishads were very much viable those days, because Upanishads are highly philosophical. Highly philosophical. Upanishads were in Sanskrit. They were more for the classes than for the masses. So they required a simple, intelligible way to salvation. They did not want any paraphernalia. कि बहुत बड़ी कोई पूजा करे, हवन करे, मंत्रोच्चार करे. No, they wanted something very simple, and in the language should be simple, so they can connect with that. And here Buddhism and Jainism fulfill these needs of the people. So besides these religious, you can say, factors, there were some social and economic factors also. The social factors, as you know, the caste system was very much rigid. Can you tell me which caste system prevailed in those days? Very simple, you've done in the lower classes also. Caste system, rigid caste system.
Ma'am, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Sutra.
Oh, wonderful, awesome, awesome. A virtual hug to you. Virtual hug to you. This is Durgpal Singh, isn't it? Okay. So there's a nursery rhyme which says heads, shoulders, knees and toes, heads, shoulders, knees and toes, तो अभी आपने जो कास्ट सिस्टम बताया, this was the caste system and very rigid caste system. There was no intermingling. Heads means the Brahmins, the Brahminism, or Brahminism बहुत prevalent था. The Brahmins were the, you can say, the highly influential class who did teaching, the gurus, the learned, they were called the Brahmins. They did teaching work only according to their job, the Pandits. So head. Then we come to the shoulders, the Kshatriyas. The princely class, the rulers, their job was to protect the people, the warrior class. So they were the Kshatriyas, the shoulders. उनको है कि अपनी जनता को, अपनी प्रजा को protect करना. Then we come to the knees, or we come to the stomach, you can say, the traders, the business class. They were doing the business and the trading, और जितनी भी ये खरीद फरोख्त है, जो मार्केटिंग का काम है, ये वैश्य करते थे. So that you can earn your bread and butter. You can buy your bread and butter. That was the job of the Vaishya. And now we come to the toes. The toes means the Shudras. Their job was to serve the Vaishya, the Kshatriyas, and the Brahmins. That was the job of the Shudras. So no intermingling, no intercaste marriages, nothing. There were watertight compartments, absolutely separate. सब अपनी अपनी जिंदगी जीते थे, अपना अपना काम करते थे. There was no, एक दूसरे के काम में दखल बिल्कुल नहीं होता था. So now what happened? The Kshatriyas, they were getting restless. They didn't want the dominance of the Brahmins because they were highly revered. आप चाहे महाभारत देखिए, चाहे रामायण देखिए, आप देखिए ब्राह्मण्स का, गुरुस का कितना, मतलब उनका कितना, जो उन्होंने कह दिया ब्रह्म वाक्य हो गया. So they and punishments were also less for them. वही गलती अगर दूसरे कास्ट वाला करेगा तो उसकी पनिशमेंट लेस होगी, अगर ब्राह्मण करेगा तो उसकी पनिशमेंट अधिक, वो कम होगी, तो दूसरे करेंगे उनकी पनिशमेंट अधिक होगी. So resentment was in the Kshatriyas about the domination of the Brahmins, the priestly class. And the Vaishya also, they were now more rich. They have improved their condition in society. They have grown so much. They wanted to enhance their social status in society, but were not able to do so. Why? Because you are a Vaishya. आप बहुत धनी भी हैं, आप बहुत धनवान भी हैं, आपकी समाज में बहुत respect है, but still you will never rise from that position. You cannot do what a Kshatriya can do or a Brahmin can do. So they were also tied up, they were also unhappy, and so both these Kshatriyas and the Vaishya, they both supported this movement of Jainism and Buddhism. They got the support of them. Is that clear? So these are few religious, social, and economic factors which gave rise to Buddhism and Jainism. Right? Shall I move forward now? So now we go into Buddhism. Buddhism, as you know, in the lower classes, you have learned about Gautam Buddha. He was born in 567 BC from a Sakya clan, royal family. Father was Shuddhodhan and Maya Devi. And he married at the age of 16. He was married to Yashodhara and a son Rahul. That's just a small nutshell, his personal life. He was having a luxurious life, happy in the palace. Now, what happened exactly? Well, what was this turning point in Buddha's life? Can anybody tell me? What incidents happened which changed the mindset